Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Fierce Female Friday. Before we get going, you know how we do it here. We're going to show you this fabulous video as people come in the door. So get ready to shake your shoulders and your feet. Let them tap around. This is a good one. My goodness, are you not? I love the vibe of that song. I thought Kendyl and I were in sync there for doing our thing. Welcome, everyone. It is our first Fierce Female Friday of June. I am still a little bit in shock that it's June. I cannot believe it's already here. We are 10 days away from being together in Oceanside. And we have a really fun show for all of you today. As always, we love to know where you're watching from. So go ahead and drop that into the chat box. And of course, everyone wants to see your comments. So make sure that it says not say host and panel. Make sure it says everyone in that little blue box above where you're typing so that everyone can communicate with you as well. So thank you, all of you who are here. It looks like we've got people covered from the top to the bottom of California and across the country. So welcome, everyone. We're so thrilled for you to be here today. I'm Deborah Trapin. For those of you who do not know me yet, I wear many hats around the WomanUP community. It is my favorite project that I get to, that I am blessed to work on a daily basis, especially right now. And I am really excited to talk to you about couple of things. First is, of course, the retreat. If you haven't purchased your ticket yet, there are still seats available at our table. And you know us, we don't want to ever be sold out. we will always find a way to add a chair to a table. So don't worry about not having a spot. Go to IamWomanUp.com, read through the agenda. We'll be talking about that in a second, and grab your ticket, reserve your room, invest in yourself. This is the time to say yes to yourself. We are going to fill that tank of yours. Your soul will be full, your head will be full, your brain will be on fire, so that you are excited and equipped to truly make a bigger impact in the second half of the year in your business and in your life. Let's see, Sarah, do you want to talk about day one stuff?
Oh my gosh. Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Sudachan, Chief Strategy Officer, SVP at C.A.R. I'm happy to be here. Also helped found this amazing initiative, WomanUP, that is now an amazing movement across the globe. So thank you all for every one of you who has been a part of that journey. I'm excited to share my highlights for day one. Of course, everything's a highlight, but I'm very excited that we have a 2018 throwback repeat. We have our president, Jennifer Brancini, and her daughter, Kate Inman, who will be sharing, their mother-daughter story, their generational leadership journeys. And I'm just so excited for that. And Kate did such a amazing tribute to her mom at her installation. So she was installed I was going to say earlier this year, and it feels like a long time ago, but it was only February. She was installed as C.A.R president, and her daughter, Kate, did such a beautiful tribute to her on that stage. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm excited. I get to interview the CEO for CB, Coldwell Banker, also an Anywhere brand and sponsor. So Kamini Lane is the new CEO of there. She's going to be joining us. We're going to talk about transformational leadership and truly the business imperative of having women in these seats. No pressure, anybody who's listening, but that's really important to me. I know she is super passionate about it and is leading Coldwell Banker with that in mind. So I'm very happy about that. And lastly, I think it's very timely. I know how tough this market has been. I'm hearing it. We're seeing it. We understand. We know there's no inventory. We know how bad it is. And as much as it's an exciting time for WomanUP, it's great for us to be together. We are going to learn some things, and we have some amazing leaders talking about thriving through turbulent times. So Tawny English, Jennifer Lind, the president of CB California, and Danny Vanderbilt from Inman are going to be sharing their stories and lessons for us. And obviously we have crowdsourced content, and we can lean on each other together we will lean on each other through those turbulent times. So we have not only, that's day one. I didn't even talk about the pre-day, which is you get to meet and mingle with all of these amazing leaders you see here today, you see on our agenda, you see throughout the WomanUP conference, retreat, should I say. And so that's 4 to 6 on Monday the 12th. That's just a bonus, no pressure if you decide to come in on the 13th, but that is a bonus because we are together, we are collaborating, and we'll talk about, what they're excited about, and you'll get to meet some of these leaders, and it'll just be a great opportunity for networking, something so imperative to the real estate business. We have lunch and learns, we have a poolside store. Oh my gosh, do I go on? Or
I know. It's so true, right? Before I share about day two, let us give homage to Donut Day and Eileen, because she's talking about it in the chat. Yes, it is National Donut Day. So it's go get a donut if you're a donut person. Thank you, Eileen.
It's today.
It's today. Yes. Hey, you know what? Every day could be donut day. So you could celebrate National Donut Day tomorrow morning. I'm pretty sure the donut shops will sell you a donut tomorrow.
They make every excuse to get donuts. So in volleyball, if you serve under the net, you have to bring your whole team donuts. And thank you, Eileen, because I remember that Juliet needs to bring donuts to her team today. So there you go.
Oh, awesome. That's so perfect. That's so great. Okay, let me share some highlights of day 2. So you heard there's socializing, there is deep diving business planning happening on day 1. Same thing is happening on day 2. We're going to get up in the morning. We have Jen Branchini, Heather Osier, and Melanie Barker are leading a C.A.R Leadership walk both mornings at 6 a.m. So if you are an early riser, you want to get up and get some fresh air in your lungs with a walk, join those 3 amazing leaders. 7 o'clock for those of you who like to start your day a little bit more zen. Pam is doing morning yoga. Again, both mornings she's doing that. That starts at 7. Both those activities will meet in the lobby. So just meet in the lobby and head on out. Of course, I'm excited about the Introverts Lounge, but you know what? Leslie Appleton Young is coming again this year. She was not sure if she was going to be able to join us, but hallelujah, praise. She is going to be there. She did a test run with John in New York. She got on a plane, she walked around. She's like, I am ready. So she's going to be leading a conversation with Bernice Ross, who we all know is wildly woven into the WomanUP community, as well as Carol Fasaponte Malcolm. They are going to be talking, the title of their talk is so cool. The U curve of happiness, how to get happier as we age. Come on now. Like that is going to be a conversation that is for everyone because we are all hopefully aging more every single day, right? We all have hopes to reach
It's a privilege.
111. I would love that. But I want to be strong and I want to be flexible and, you know, all the good things. So they're going to talk about that. We have Erin Morrison coming from the Real Estate LGBTQ plus Alliance. She's going to be talking about how you can truly make change through advocacy in your own space. And I'm excited about unveiling a new keynote there that's going to be about radical acceptance, followed by interviewing one of my favorite women on the planet, Sherry Chris. We are digging in, everyone. We are talking to her about the legendary impact she has had on our industry. And she's going to talk about some calculated risks she's taken, how we can too. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the future of real estate and the future of Sherry Chris. What does that look like? So join us for that for sure. And of course, we have some fun new keynoters coming into town. We've got Dee Dee Richards talking about the plane crash she was in and how she survived, obviously. And then we have more of our C.A.R leadership team coming on stage, including Ms. Barb, who's here with us today. She's having a conversation with the current treasurer, Heather Osier, about finding your people. And what I love about this is for those of you who were at the first WomanUP in 2017, Heather was one of our MCs. Barb was in the room and she has told her WomanUP story. I'm sure she's going to share it today. But the fact that these 2 women found each other at WomanUP and are building their business together, they're leading together, they're serving together. They're going to talk about that and that journey because, you know, we know that not all women are meant to walk the planet together. And so when we find our people, oh, it's such a joyful experience. So Barb's going to talk about a little bit more about that. And then Melanie Barker is on with her mom. So we have moms and daughters in a different way, which is so exciting. They're going to talk about big things happening in their world. Their talk is rising out of the ashes. And then I think I'm basically telling you the whole schedule. The closing keynote is hilarious.
You said highlights, woman.
I know. Hey, but you know what? No one puts Deborah in the corner, right? We don't put any of ourselves in the corner. So we have an amazing woman coming who does a 1-woman show. Like she actually does a 1-woman play. She's going to be our closing keynote. She is spectacular. I'm not even going to say her name out loud because I want her to say her name out loud because it is so great when she talks about her name. And then, of course, we're ending the event with wine tasting with Alicia and Angelina Mondavi. Thank you to Coldwell Banker for sponsoring that. And we're announcing it today. We added Oceanside Museum of Art walking tour. So for those of you who are like not into wine or you've done wine enough or you're done whining, period, there is a great art experience that you can attend at 3:30 as well. So, so much happening. Please hit IamWomanUp.com. You can review a lot of those things. The app will be updated over the weekend. So all of those times and dates for all of those things will be in there. You can create your own schedule. It's going to be amazing. Please join us. Again, it's about where business and self-care meet. We want you to leave recharged and refreshed. So you are ready to take on the second half of this mighty beast of a year. All right, with that, let's get the show flow going. I would love to have Ms. Kendyl introduce herself, but not before I say she is one of the OG, the founding members of this community. She actually started the WomanUP Facebook group. She was like, I'm not waiting for anyone. I want these people together. Now I am making this Facebook group. And we were like, whoa, wait, what just happened? Kendyl is such a beautiful part of our community. She raises her hand whenever she can to help out in any way, shape, or form. And for those of you who are currently friends with her, you saw she is a world traveler. So you want to hit her up while you're walking around those halls to find out about Spain and tapas and kava and all the things. So Kendyl, please introduce yourself, share with the world who you are. And then for those of you who don't know how the show flows after this, Sarah and I are going to scoot off and let Barb and Kendyl run the show.
Right. Thank you so much for that. And I'll keep it brief. I am Kendyl Young. I've been a selling real estate agent for 36, going on almost 37 years. I am a second generation real estate agent. I am semi-retired at this point, and I am in the enviable position of being able to do what I want, when I want, and how I want to do it. And my joy is to give back to the industry that has given me so much. So yeah, you can talk to me about pretty much anything. When you see me at WomanUP, I'm an open book. Whatever questions you got, bring it on. I probably have an answer. It might not be the right answer, but I have an answer.
Yes, I love that, Kendyl. I'm so happy. I'm so happy you're coming to WomanUP. You're a WaveMaker, and we're very excited to have those conversations in the hallway with you. I get to ask Barb Betts to introduce herself, but before we do that, I do want to say Barb was team. She was team leader, and she spread that gospel until 2017, our inaugural WomanUP. And I love how WomanUP is so ingrained in your leadership journey. Barb, please introduce yourself, and thank you also for being a WaveMaker and spreading the gospel of WomanUP.
Thank you, Sarah. So hi, everyone. For those of you that I don't know, my name is Barb Betts. I'm in Long Beach, California. And of course, we're all in California. Geez, you can tell I'm used to introducing myself many different places. I am a broker owner of a boutique brokerage with my amazing husband. And yes, I am the first that I know of. I was the first success story, I guess. There's been a lot of success stories out of WomanUP, but I walked out of that event in 2017. I got in my car. I said to my team that was with me of females, if Harold and I opened our own brokerage, would you come with us? And the team said, when can we leave? And so there's a lot about me, too much to talk about right now, but I do want to just say thank you to Kendyl. That's Kendyl and I's story. Kendyl is one of the two that basically gave me the dose of, it wasn't a dose, it was a kick in the you-know-what in the hallway.
I'm not subtle. I'm just, nobody called me.
Told me the answers that I needed to hear that I was too afraid to say myself. And her and Vanessa Bergmark truly are inspirations in my life, because they are part of the reason I walked out the door and opened our own company 6 months later. So happy to be here.
Nice. All right, ladies, have a great conversation. We'll see everyone next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, Kendyl, let's get this thing started now.
Yeah, let's go, man.
Just so you guys know, they gave us an agenda, but Kendyl and I are rule breakers. She's rule breaker number 1. I'm rule breaker number 2. Actually, I'm a rule follower.
You've learned well, Barb.
But with Kendyl, how can you follow the rules? But we will try and stay to the agenda. Now Sarah and Deborah are rolling over and they're probably like, let us back in. Anyways, so ladies, Cynthia and Hilary, so I'm excited to have you guys here. So let's start at the beginning. Introduce yourself. Where are you from? Who you are? And why you love what you do. Let's go with Cynthia first.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you all very much for having me here today. And again, I'm super excited about seeing folks in person in California at the retreat in the not too distant future. So I am Cynthia Adams. I am the CEO and co-founder of a company called Pearl Certification. I live in Durango, Colorado, which, if you don't know, is in the Four Corners, southwest corner of Colorado. And I live here because I love the big peaks of the San Juan Mountains. I love the smell of the ponderosa pines and the clear flowing creeks that are here. And I mention all that because I'm a nature girl at heart, and this is one of the reasons why I love my business. Pearl Certification's mission is to help homeowners have a more sustainable home, and in doing so, accrue equity value to their property as well. So I get to do something in my job that helps to mitigate climate change and make the world a better place.
Hey, thanks for being here. Hilary.
I think before I start, I think Cynthia, you and I are going to be best friends, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm, most of you guys have met me. I've been at WomanUP for years. I'm the co-founder and chief broker officer for Side. But more importantly, I'm also a nature girl at heart. Live in the mountains of Central Oregon. Moved back in 2020 after we had our twins. And when I need me time, you'll find me either skiing in the winter or paddleboarding in the summer. So very often, and people on this call, I see Kathy and Teresa can attest, I've definitely called into meetings from nature and on my headphones. So I think it's super important. And that goes to why I love what I do, which is allow other like-minded entrepreneurs who want to start their business the ability to start their own brokerages. And Barb, you were an inspiration out of WomanUP. We had just started Side, and when we were sitting there listening to everyone's success stories, it was like, that is why we do what we do. So thank you all for having me. I'm so excited.
Thanks for being here.
We are so excited to have both of you, because a large part of why we have WomanUP is there are females out there who need to be leaders, who should be leaders, who deserve to be leaders, but for one reason or another, their personal story has kept them back from being and living the life that they want to lead. So let's start with kind of a softball question, but it's still super important. And that is, what was your first leadership role? And, were you recruited to it? Did you ask for it? Did you dream about it? Just kind of give us a sense of the paradigm under which you arrived into your leadership role. And Hilary, you were just doing so well now. Why don't you just keep rolling, man? How'd you get there?
Keep the ball rolling.
Right.
Us purple
That's
hair
right.
people need to stick together.
Yeah.
It's funny because a lot of people say leaders are born, but I think a lot of people are born with leadership tendencies, and they can either grow into them and nurture them, or they can shy away from them. I was a competitive swimmer growing up, starting at 6. So I was always part of a team, and leadership fell into that team dynamic. And that translated into leadership opportunities in elementary school and high school. So it's always been something that I've been drawn to. And I love just encouraging other people to find their niche and see how my skill set can help their skill set. And a lot of times it's almost like a need for me too, because I learn so much from every person that I interact with when I'm trying to help them or coach them or mentor them. I'm getting something from them that I don't have a skill set, and so I'm learning. So it's almost like a need for me too to learn from the community. But it's something that I love doing, and I continuously work on.
So can we say that you were never particularly shy about stepping into a leadership role?
I'm not shy about anything. If you know me, I am not shy about breaking down lines, boxes, anything. So no, if somebody asks me to step up, I step up. I just ran for school board in our local school board. I didn't get it, but that's okay, because that's part of leadership. You try your best and you learn and you do it again.
That's awesome. So Cynthia, Pearl certification, that's not a normal path for really any of us females. What's your leadership story?
So ironically, in some senses, when the question is about like, what was your first leadership role? I, in fact, was born into it. I'm the oldest out of all of the cousins in our family. And every summer we would go to Wisconsin to stay with my mom's family and her brother and sister and all of their kids. And it was something we all looked forward to. It was a big, festival at the lake, or like hang out at my grandparents' house. And if something went wrong, it was my fault. If someone wasn't taken care of, it was my issue. And if there was a fun activity that we cousins were going to get into, I was usually the one leading the charge. So I think of it a little bit like servant leadership in training, when you have, a brother and then a lot of other family that are looking up to you. And then you also have the adults in the room that are expecting someone to be an adult in the room on their behalf. It was a good type of leadership training, I think, for me, and one that didn't feel uncomfortable. It felt natural because it was my family. But that was my first leadership role, and it probably started pretty young.
It's a pretty amazing story that your family not only didn't tamp you down, but encouraged you to be a leader. I am one of 6, number 5 out of 6, and the other 5 are boys. So, so yeah,
you're tough, is what you just said.
Darn tooting on that one. Barb, girlfriend, you are the leader amongst leaders. Like you were like, if there was a pack of gals anyway, you would be like at the very front, encouraging people to do everything. So
thank you.
What's your leadership story?
I don't know how to say no. Is that a safe answer?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Most of my friends around me would say that. No. So truthfully, I had to think about this question for a second. I was a leader in front of imaginary people when I was little. And what I mean by that is my favorite thing in the world to do, it's going to shock all of you, I know, was to play school. I used to stand in front in my bedroom with a fake chalkboard, well, a real chalkboard, but with fake people, and teach school. That was my favorite thing to do. Hence the reason I love to teach and educate and inspire so much. So I guess that's probably my first kind of leadership sense. But my first leadership role, thinking back, was captain of my high school dance team. I was a competitive dancer my whole life. And in high school, I remember freshman year when they had auditions for captain and interviews, I was like, I'm going to do that. So I did call it and became captain my junior and senior year. And then, gosh, the rest is history. So Kendyl, what about you? I know you've got some leadership stories.
What's really funny is I don't actually think of myself as a leader, never have. Not sure that I ever will, quite frankly. But when I was thinking about this question, I was thinking, God, when it comes right down to it, I think that every real estate agent is probably a leader, because we need to proactively orchestrate the best real estate experience possible for our clients, and we have to herd like a whole bunch of cats and try to get them going in the same direction so we can actually close escrow in a reasonable manner, right? So I just kind of wanted to put it out there for anyone that is kind of like hiding in their shell or feeling like, well, they'll never be a leader. Oh, I'm not worthy. If you're thinking that, I want you to think differently, because you already are a leader and you're leading your clients to home. So I thought that was an important thought as I was trying to figure out, my leadership story. And the other thing is that, if you're in a pool and you're not sure that pool is going to want you to be a leader, go get another pool. It's the thing that I said in the very first WomanUP. Don't cry about not having a seat at the table. Get up and go make your own table, right?
Build the table.
Build the
table.
Yeah. Okay. I already got in trouble for saying those words, so I won't say them here.
All right. Well, let's move on to, what is the biggest life or leadership advice you give most often? Like one sentence that just rolls off your tongue. Cynthia, share with us.
Don't ask for permission or wait for someone to give you the okay to lead. If you feel driven to lead on something, do it. lead, and you will become a leader.
Love that. Hilary.
I think it's be your authentic self. You don't necessarily have to be a leader, and I'm not telling everyone to be a leader, but just by being your authentic self to everyone in your community, you are leading them too.
Agreed. Kendyl.
Be a stoic. What I mean by that is you can only control your own actions and your own reactions, right? And if we put all our resources to trying to get the horse to drink the water, we're not going to give them very good water. So like, right? Okay, Barb.
So Hilary's my exact be authentic. That's if you know me, know my story now, that is my jam. But since that's already been said, my secondary or my along with that is always focus on the relationship. If you focus on relationships with yourself, with others, and in business, you're going to have everything you've ever wanted.
Right. And you'll never worry about AI chatbots disrupting you.
No.
Right. Okay, we won't go there.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there. That's
another
a conversation over drinks at WomanUP. Okay.
Okay. Now, none of us get to where we are without having people behind us, uplifting, encouraging, and giving us wise advice. So, Hilary, for all of us, can you tell us about a woman in your life who helped you to reach a goal or encouraged you, gave you that thing, whatever it is that you needed to take over your personal power?
I think it's more of a tribe, less of a single person. So I moved back to the same small town that I grew up in. My class was 78 people, and many of those, Kendall's like, what number is that?
Mine was 700. So yeah,
under 100. But I'm still really good friends with many of my girlfriends from first grade and elementary school, and they may be across the country and across the world, but we are a close-knit tribe that if anytime any of us need a shoulder or support or advice or anything, it's literally a text, a phone call, in person. I had wine with one of my best friends yesterday. It's just one of those things. So it's a tribe.
Cynthia?
So my story may be kind of classic in that I had a woman business partner, and she noticed that I was getting requests from different clients to assist them with certain things. And I was hesitating to take on those roles. And so she just, made the observation that I had the ability to do it. It seemed as though people really wanted me to do these things. And she had a lot of faith in me and felt like I should just go for it and learn what I needed to learn along the way. And I really respected her and I trusted her. And so the fact that she not only saw me hesitating, but also saw the spark in me that could rise to the occasion and do it meant a hell of a lot. So I took her advice and I continue to do so virtually over time.
It's amazing what we can do for each other, right? Barb, what about you, girlfriend?
So I've said this a million times, a lot, because I get asked this question a lot. And I agree with all of you. I can't just pick one. Like it's a tribe, right? It's a force. It's just so many people that have supported you along the way, but really transparently, until I've gotten later, kind of now to this point in my life, most of my supporters have been men. I have had men prop me up. I have a lot of male leaders in my life. And so it's hard for me to just identify one female because there's been so many wonderful people that I have learned so much from and that have encouraged me and supported me and really pushed me along. I already mentioned Kendyl and Vanessa, huge women in my life that helped me get out of my own way, essentially. But if I had to pick one, it would be my daughter. My daughter is completely opposite of me. If you met my daughter, you'd be like, that's Barb's daughter. She doesn't say a word. She is her father, but she is so comfortable in her skin. She is so confident and beautiful and strong and isn't afraid to go the other way, isn't afraid to say no, isn't afraid to say, those aren't my people. I don't need to go there. And she's always given me the courage to just be me and be okay with it because I've learned that watching her. So I'd say for the last 22 years, it's been my daughter. She's my inspiration.
That's pretty darn amazing. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. What about you, Kendyl?
You know, what's interesting, again, I don't have any one person, but when I was thinking about this question, I was thinking, I've been really, really lucky. Some of the biggest female leaders in the real estate industry, I've had the chance to talk to one-on-one, and they've been so encouraging proactively, but also just having a role model like Sherry Chris to look after. And one of my biggest heroes, you guys are all gonna laugh, but it's true, is Leslie Appleton Young. I've had a hard crush on her for more decades than she is willing to admit to actually being in the industry. Yeah. And I can remember being a little agent going, oh my God, she's so amazing. And now I get to call her friend and ask her for advice. It's like completely amazing. And I just encourage all of you, if you see somebody out there that you admire, that you look up to, go and talk to them, because I guarantee you, unless they're a complete asshole, in which case you chose wrong, unless they're a total asshole, they're going to be more than delighted to take the time to help you figure out how to get to where you want to go.
Agree 1000%. Let's get on the hashtag Leslie is the coolest, train in the chat.
Ever.
She is the most beautiful.
Followed closely by Sarah.
Yes, I mean, wow, aren't we all so lucky to have such an incredible leader that we've all looked up to for so many years and get to still call a friend. So I am so with you on that one, Kendyl. So what are we most excited about for the retreat? It's like what, 2 weeks ago? I don't know. I'm going to Chicago for NAR next week, so I can't even keep my days straight. So it's another week, right? Like one hotel to another. So anyways, what are we most excited about? Cynthia, tell us what you're looking forward to.
So this is my first WomanUP retreat, and I'm looking to pretty much everything that Sarah and Deborah went over with on the agenda. It all sounds super amazing. But I'm definitely looking forward to connecting with a couple of women who I haven't seen in a long time, like Molly. And I also am looking forward to meeting new, powerful, passionate, professional women. I can't ever have too many of those lovely ladies in my world. So I'm pretty excited about that too.
I love that. Hilary.
Oh my gosh, I loved every WomanUP that I've ever been to, and this one very memorable one when I was extremely pregnant with twins, and God, that was an experience. Anyway, it was great being around you all. But this time, twofold, getting to see everybody, obviously, and Christine George, who I saw her in the chat, I know she had to leave, she's at Post and Beam, getting to connect with some of the awesome guests that we're having. We're launching a podcast called Own It, and Deborah is going to be on very soon as well. So I'm really looking forward to connecting with everyone and hearing your stories and asking you very graciously to come onto my podcast, because I know you will, and we can hear more stories. And then I'm going to pop in the chat a link to our side cocktail hour. It's on the 13th. There's limited space, so please RSVP, come hang out, come chat. We'd love to buy you a drink. So I'll put it in the chat.
Kendyl.
I'm super excited. I have a few good friends coming from out of the state to WomanUP, and I can't wait to squeeze them in person, because I don't get to do that often enough, and taking a deep dive into where they are in their business and how I can support them in their journey. It's just, that's what WomanUP is all about, right? And it's so much better to do that face-to-face. Zoom just is not enough. Barb, what do you think, man?
I bet, I'm sure you can guess, it's the relationships, it's the people. Like, these are my people. The network and the WomanUP network and the real estate community just in general, right? We all foundationally are from the real estate community, and you are my people. And so I just can't wait to, synergize and network and connect and talk in the hallways. And I'll take this moment to just say, if I have a very resting bitch face look on my face, come talk to me anyways. Guys, I'm not scary. I've had so many people tell me I don't know how to approach you. I'm like, just come up to me. Heather Osher and I are RBF professionals, and we have to really work on it. Heather's dying probably right now, but I guarantee she'll pop in the chat in a second and say her too. I'm serious. I may look like I don't want you to come talk to me, but I do. I'm actually the most introverted extrovert ever.
Look, I know that Heather's kind of an introvert, but I never have
Me
seen
too.
that in
No,
you
guys.
Dude, seriously? Okay.
Put me in a room of people I don't know, and I'm going to stand in the corner. I know it's hard to believe. I know you guys are like, no way. It's true. It really is true.
Okay, whatever. Okay, look, we've gotten so much great information out there, but it's time for your final words of wisdom. So, Hilary, what you got for us?
I think today it's all about you, and make sure that you take time for yourself every day. I know we all have responsibilities and partners and kids and dogs and everything pulling us every which way and direction. But I think that the best words of wisdom is to take at least 5, 10, 15 minutes for yourself on a daily basis. If it's just sitting outside in your front yard by yourself, I've done that. You need it. You need to self check in. You need to talk and figure out, where are you today? What do you need tomorrow? How can you get to the best level of you? Or do you need to ask for help? Because so many times I've sat there thinking, what is going on internally? And then I land on, I need help with something. And then I go ask, and then it's all better. So take you time.
Put your own gas mask on first, right?
Amen.
Right. Yeah. Amen to that one. Yeah, we can stop right there. Mic drop. But we won't. Cynthia, what's your advice?
So I'll build a little bit on what Hilary said. My advice would be to recognize what delights you in life, what sparks your curiosity and makes you feel wonderful, as in full of wonder, and then intentionally bring more of that into your world. I think, we are all often weighed down by our various responsibilities and the things that we feel so passionate about, but you only live once, and part of the reason we're here is also to celebrate and to feel joy, and so know what delights you and invite that into your world.
So take time to get yourself, and don't ignore yourself, right?
Sure.
Again, put your gas mask on first. I love this. Barb, how about you?
Always have a daughter who will bring you Starbucks. That's number one. Number 2 is just do you. Just do you. Like, you do you, boo, has become like my new thing. Like, you don't want to go somewhere, don't go. You don't want to participate in something, don't do it. You want to sit at that table, go sit at it. Pull up a chair. You do you. Are we ready for rapid fire? Because we were told that if we go like a second over 2:45, we're gonna get like the whole. We got 3 minutes to do.
Let's do it.
Rapid fire.
Let's do it.
Okay, everyone. First job, Hilary.
First job, lifeguarding.
Kendyl.
Cashier at a men's clothing store with a lecherous old Jew who was interesting.
Cynthia.
Receptionist at my dance studio.
Mine was, I worked at a dance supply store. Look at that. Cynthia and I have that in common.
All right. Cynthia, what was your first concert?
Share with my mom.
Hilary.
Whitney Houston with my mom.
Barb Betts.
Don't laugh. Neil Diamond.
Oh,
with my parents.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. My parents would exactly never take any of us to a concert, but then there were 6 of us. Mine was the Jackson 5 when there were still 5 of them. And the funny thing is that it was a date, but I was too young and innocent to understand it was a date. So let's not go there.
All right. What was our first? Oh, not our first. Introvert,
No.
extrovert, or what is an ambivert? Can someone interpret that for me?
Both. A little
I
bit
know
of both.
because that's what I am. Yeah.
Well, I am the biggest extroverted introvert everywhere. There you go. Kendyl.
I'm definitely an ambivert. I have really good performance mode. Yeah.
Maybe that's what I have too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have serious performance mode, but I would rather be writing in a corner somewhere, or these days art.
Good to know. Hilary.
Extrovert all the way.
Cynthia.
Definitely an ambivert. I can bring it when I
Yeah.
need to, but I also need my alone, my me time. Yep.
I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Absolutely love that. Absolutely love that.
Okay, here, Deborah's been so nice in the background. What is an ambivert? Someone who exhibits qualities of both intro and extro and can flip into either depending on the mood, context, or goals. Ambiverts have been called outgoing introverts, an introvert who can be outgoing in certain situations around certain people and when they absolutely need to. And the emphasis would be absolutely need to. Yeah. All right, let's fill in the blank. Cynthia, WomanUP is
the most amazing professional conference that you can go to as a woman.
Well, better than that than as a dog. Hilary, WomanUP is
An amazing tribe.
Barb, WomanUP is
Life-changing.
and I think WomanUP is one of the few places where we can truly take the time for ourselves to connect to what we need. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, 2:45 on the
See, I
flippin'
had
dot.
2:45 in my head. I heard 2:45.
Barb,
So now we
Barb,
get to
are
just talk
we-
about the event.
Like we are amazing. Yes, we
I
are.
mean,
Yes, we are.
yeah.
High five, Barb. Woo, woo, woo.
You guys are great MCs. I love it.
Oh, you're sweet. Well, I just want to say, if you haven't signed up yet, all of the links and everything, they've been dropping them into the chat. I also want to let you guys know I have a WaveMaker dinner on Monday evening. I still have a few more spots at an amazing Italian restaurant. So Monday the 12th at 6:30. So we'd love for you guys. I dropped that link in there. It's on the website, all the things. Kendyl, what else do you have? Reminders?
I'm just dropping the link in for my WaveMaker dinner, which is, I don't actually know when. I know that I looked at all the list of the restaurants and I picked the one that I wanted to eat the most. And y'all have to understand, I'm Chinese. Food is like, did you know that if you say, the way you say hello, how are you in Chinese is, have you eaten rice? That's how important eating is to me. So, you know, it's going to be a good restaurant. So sign up for my dinner. We'll have fun. I will turn on my extroverted, entertaining self. And everyone knows I can be funny.
You guys are so funny. Well, we still have a few more minutes, and I feel like let's take this opportunity to give a little bit more inspiration, a little bit more conversation. Why not? Since we have bonus minutes. We have bonus minutes.
Minutes.
I think what I want to know from Hilary and Cynthia is what made you, and this might help someone make the decision to come to WomanUP. What made you decide the first year you came to come? Like, what was that feeling? What was that thing you were looking for that you came for? And then what did you walk away with? I think that would be a great way to wrap up.
Yep. So
Hilary.
yes, ma'am. So one of the reasons why we started CIDE, quite frankly, was because there were not an equal representation of women broker owners in the real estate industry. And that has been a huge focus of ours. Over 50% of our partners are women. Another 35% are minority owned. And any organization that focuses and supports minorities, women specifically, is a passion of mine. And so that drove me to attend WomanUP, and not to mention I'm also on the bandwagon of Leslie Appleton Young fan club. So it's like, all right, let's go. So yeah, and then takeaway was not just connections and networks and support structure, but just learning what people have done through their life journeys. You always take away something. You always get a really good nugget of, oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to implement that system. I'm going to do this. I'm going to read that book. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I love that. Cynthia, what about you?
So I'm not an agent. I have a platform and a suite of services that's meant to help agents. And we were in NAR's Reach Technology Accelerator, which is where I had the good fortune to meet a whole bunch of people that are connected to WomanUP in various ways. But I went to the first event at Inman, and I went in part because I was really put off by some of the other conversations I had been having with brokers who were a bunch of dudes, and they were kind of standoffish. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't have the best conversations with them, but it seemed like WomanUP was a really welcoming group, and I knew some of the folks from my mentorship experiences, and they spoke really highly of it. And I have to say that, you know, I met some great people, had some wonderful conversations, and it was just a really welcoming, you know, opportunity to network and see a different side of the real estate community. So I'm really thankful that I'm going to have an opportunity to continue on that journey in just a week or so.
I love that. It's like finding your people, right?
Yep.
It's really special. Kendyl, why did you come in 2017? Besides, it was new
Oh,
and it was
God.
cool, and let's go.
And you know what's funny is that I said no a couple, 3 times because I have an aversion to like rah rah sorority sister, that kind of thing. I'm like not that. But what's really interesting is that when I talk to people about Women Up, a lot of people assume it's like, oh, you're a bunch of feminists who get around together and go wah wah wah. You haven't given me a fair shake, wah wah. And like what I discovered at Woman Up is a bunch of other women like me who are just like, yeah, I'm a female. Let's get over it. We got shit to do. How do we get it done? And that's what I mean by finding our people. Because at Women Up, these are women who are not interested in crying and remonstrating about what they don't have. They're much more into, this is a fact. What do we do with it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I honestly don't remember why I remember, obviously I came, obviously I was there. I'm a conference junkie because I'm a learner at heart. I love learning. And so if there's a conference or an opportunity and I can fit it in my schedule and it makes sense, I'm going to go to learn, to grow, to be better. And of course, you all know what I walked away with. I walked away with a company and that's thriving. And now we left with my husband and I and 2 female agents. And now I have 14 female agents. Yes, my poor husband with a bunch of females, but girl power. I get asked all the time, do you not allow men in your brokerage? And I'm like, no, this happens to be that way. I don't know. We tried one man once and it didn't work. So anyways, but I walked away with my company and it's my husband and I's pride and joy. And I get to inspire women every day in my team and share it with all of you. And so I hit the jackpot. I literally hit the jackpot and it makes me emotional to talk about it because it truly changed my life. So now we're at 2:52. We can now take us home, Kendyl.
I was going to say, I as much as I hate to end this conversation because it has been so energizing. What a way to go into the weekend, right? So thank you, everybody. Thanking everybody for joining us, for being part of the conversation. If you haven't yet signed up to attend Woman Up and we haven't inspired you to, I don't know what else will. To be able to be in an event with Hilary and Cynthia and the rest of the Woman Up crew. I mean, come on. So buy your tickets, come and see us, sign up for the events. It's at iamwomanup.com /2023.experiences. Anyway, the link is there. We really can't wait to see you. We can't wait to give you a hug. And I personally can't wait to give you a kick in the ass where it's necessary to get you to go where you need to go. With love, of course.
She does it with love.
Much love. Yes. All right, guys. Thanks much. Have a great weekend. Barb,
bye,
awesome
everyone.
as always doing this with you.
See you next
we'll
week.
See you later. All
Thank
right.
you, ladies.
Bye.
You're
Thank you.
amazing.
Bye all.